Hello everybody, it's Tammy here at Creative Girl Vintage, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my crafting space that I carved out of the basement of our old home. For all my new subscribers, welcome. I'm just so happy that you're here. We live in a 1920s Tudor home. It has the old basement. And you know, the old basements have low ceilings, electrical wires, water pipes. It's just, you can't finish them off like you can in the newer homes. I do share my space with a boiler, a hot water heater, and a sump pump, but we have learned to coexist through the years, so that's okay. So I've been down here in this basement for over 20 years, crafting my little heart out, and it's just accumulated more and more stuff. I mean, I said before I was like a little magpie just dragging it all back to my nest, all my little shiny objects, and it became quite overwhelming, and it really wasn't inspirational. It wasn't lighting me up anymore. I mean, I even wanted to move. My husband was like, no. He goes, no, let's get down there. Let's just take that place apart down there and start over and make you a really nice crafting space. I was all for that. I'm so happy. I was scared. I was so happy though. I mean, it turned out super great. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I know that our craft rooms are all kind of unique to all of us. And so I have crafted over the decades in a barn. I have crafted on a card table in the living room, numerous kitchen tables, an old metal desk in the corner of a garage, and numerous basements, including this one. So, if you love crafting, if you love losing yourself in crafting and just enjoying it, you can carve out a little spot somewhere. You can make it work. So one good thing about this basement is the temperature is really comfortable all year around. So, that was a real bonus. So let me take you around the room and just show you what we did. All right here, I'm kind of showing you one half of this room. Okay, I'm standing in the second half, which we're going to work our way around and come back over here. If you hear kind of a humming in the background, it's just the boiler running. You might hear that when I'm doing my videos too. This dresser here belonged to my husband's aunt. It's one of those old French provincial dressers. It was very yellowed. It was definitely needing a facelift. I just slapped some black paint on it, and this is now full of all of my vintage lace and doilies and all those good things that I find at the flea market, which is amazing because it's all in one spot now, which I love. This is one of my little flea market girls, and she's always modeling a new hat or a new collar. Look at that fur collar. Isn't that just the cutest? This is all of my vintage jewelry, and I used to keep this in a bunch of little jewelry boxes, which was cute, but I never really could see what I had. So I really like this. These are little acrylic drawers that I found at Home Goods, and they're so nice. You can pull it out like a tray, and you can see what you have, which is a good thing. These are just some of my cute little dollies that I have tucked in here. Now, this side of the room right here, hold on a second. I'm going to turn this bright light off behind me real quick. Makes it a little bit easier to see without that light. But behind this brick wall, which I'll tell you about in just a second, is like the staircase for the basement, household storage, laundry, etc. And so, I was looking at that. So my husband actually built me this wall and put up the brick paneling. I love this so much. My husband, by the way, he is so amazing. I can't even get over the things that he did down in this basement. His name's Barry. I call him Bear. He's just a wonderful, wonderful husband, let me tell you. These are a lot of oil paintings that I find at the flea market and I adore. I've got some little rose painting over here. These little paintings, I used to sell my little handmade items to a shop down in Ocean Grove, New Jersey by the beach. And sometimes we would, instead of exchanging money, we would trade. So I've got these wonderful little paintings, which I enjoy. little vintage bird cage, and that's filled with a lot of my little vintage birds. I have an old chair here that my neighbor across the street, this was her aunt's, and she gave it to me, and I love it. Moving over here, I have got an old dresser that we found on the curb. Bear sanded it off for me. I painted it black. It still has really ugly hardware, but I just left it because this right here, this houses all of my vintage ephemera, all of my papers, and it's a really good spot. Big deep drawers, everything lays flat, and I've got it all, of course, in one place, and I love that. We slapped this little shelf up here, and I'm going to paint it black in the future. You know, I've got some tweaking yet to do down here, but I've got baskets filled with, this is lace and trims. A lot of it's from the flea market, velvets, things like that, that I like to keep, you know, right on hand so that stuff is easy to grab. Okay, so this right here is probably, and I think I could turn this big, gigantic, wonderful light back on right now. This is, I have a lot of favorite things, but this may be my favorite of all. Now, this is 2 industrial metal cabinets that Bear brought home a long time ago. He built me a gorgeous wood top. I painted the front of it a color called Misty Lavender and painted the drawer handles gold. These drawers are amazing. I have so many things in here, just so organized. And look at this. Like, it's just everything. It's just the best cabinet ever. I'm here to tell you. This workbench now is so big that I really don't even know what to do with so much room. I was working on a really small table. This is my little pegboard, and look at this. I love this. I can never find my paper towel roll, and this is a paper towel roll holder for a pegboard. I've got my little cups here for brushes and glue sticks and scissors, and this is a little sign that I made. And the actual letters are from an old vintage movie board that I found at the flea market. Now, above in the rafters, I'll show you really quick, are all my vintage hats. I have them all hanging up there, and they're just really pretty. And it's like a cute little touch up in the rafters. So I don't have a lot of natural light. As you can see, I do have a little window here, but you know, I had a lot of eye fatigue, a lot of eye strain when I was down here. And so we did install this lamp and overhead light, rather, not really a lamp. And it is so bright. I haven't had any eye strain at all. And this is the area that I do my videos. I do my filming, just like you guys always see my hands down here. This is where I do it. And so over here, this is just all my little supplies, so I have them on hand. That's a little vintage sweet chocolates box. I love that. This is a little cubby I tucked in over here, and it has all of my glitter and glues, all those important things that I need kind of within arm's reach right there. All right, going around the corner, here we have a little dresser. Now, this dresser came from an estate sale. It was just $10. If I could really describe it in one word, it would be cruddy. It was very cruddy. So I cleaned it up really good, threw some paint on it, and while I was organizing, I found some paper napkins. So I decoupaged the front of this with paper napkins, and this is kind of my one place where all of my rubber stamps, all of my inks, everything is just right here. These are the rubber stamps that I use a lot, and I like to have them, you know, where I can just see them. So once again, I got a couple more of these little acrylic drawers at Home Goods, and they're perfect. They're perfect to pull a tray out, and you can, you know, sort your stamps by holiday or, you know, however you like. Over here, this is another old dresser. I've had this dresser for years. And so we found on the curb, this was like, this bookshelf part was on top of something else. So what we did was Bear took it apart and he attached it to this dresser. And now I was able to put all of my vintage books up on this shelf, which I love, love my vintage books. I love being in the presence of books. So this is very important to me that I had this in my space. And isn't she a cutie? She was from a garage sale. And look at this little girl. She was also from a garage sale. And I can still remember she was $2. And I couldn't believe it. $2. Just a sweetheart. But you know, I've come to really realize after doing this that my impulse buying really needs to come to a halt. And, you know, just because something is $1 and it's old doesn't mean that I need it, you know? So I'm really working on that because I just don't want my space to just be filled up again where I'm, you know, I just can't even move. So, you know, this is really a good thing. Let me take you over to the other side now. Okay, coming over to the other side of the room, this is where I was standing when I started the video. We have my little sewing machine area. Okay, and Bear built me another little brick wall over here to cover a lot of the water pipes. You know, I don't need to see all the water pipes. So I've got my sewing machine. This table here, Bear found on Marketplace for free, this little library table. I love it. It's a perfect vintage sewing table. And so here's my vintage buttons that I've put in this ginormous vase. I know a lot of them were my mother's. They were probably, I think I had like 8 or 10 miscellaneous jars and boxes filled with buttons. I didn't even really know what I even had. If I need a vintage button now, I'll just stick my hand in there and I'll grab a handful. These are some more of my little cubbies. And I put them here behind my sewing machine. And they have a lot of little things that I collect at the flea market that I just don't want to get rid of. I love looking at them. I enjoy them. This little sewing machine right here, this actually was a Christmas present when I was 10 years old. And look at the old clamp, you guys. Isn't that just amazing? And what makes me super happy is that I can actually have it out now and look at it and smile instead of it just being, you know, in a case somewhere where I probably wouldn't even know where it was. So here's more of all my little goodies tucked away back here. All these little fun things that are they just bring a smile to your face. All right, so I'm going around the corner again. Look at this. Okay. Now, this is where my husband just really outdid himself. Isn't this just the best? He looked at all the stuff that I had and he figured out a way to just make it custom for me. And I've got a lot of these 3-drawer things, which, you know, aren't the most attractive, but, you know, they can really hold some stuff. I've got things in here for kind of separated out in the drawers for seasons and holidays. A lot of vintage is in here. A lot of sewing supplies are in here. All those little things that I need. I've got a lot of vintage greeting cards and photographs. And of course, on the bottom are tubs filled with fabric. And like I said before, I do have some tweaking to do. I do have some getting rid of to do. But the good thing is that everything is like right here. It's like right all together, and you know, when I've got the time, I can grab a drawer and see, do I want this? Do I want to get rid of it? You know, it's just a much better system for me. Now, going over here, this is probably one of my favorite things over here. You know, in my Etsy shop, I have a lot of little kits and paper crafting sheets and things like that that I sell. And this is a complete organization for like all of that stuff. It is so wonderful to keep my inventory in here. All the components that go in a kit can be in one tub. I don't have to go looking for anything. And it's really been a game changer. And right here, I have a wonderful table that I just pull a tub down. Bear made this counter height for me. I grab a tub, I fill my orders. It is just the most wonderful situation over here now, you guys. I'm so happy. And last, in the center of the room, we have a wonderful little table and some chairs. And this is, I normally, when I work, I do like standing up back like at my workbench. I just feel more efficient when I'm standing, but there are times that I do need to sit down. And so I have a beautiful table to do it, to spread out. And especially if my beautiful little granddaughter, Aubrey, comes for a visit, there is a wonderful place for her to craft. So This is my crafting space. This is my happy place. So I hope you were inspired today to carve out a little spot for yourself for your crafting too. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, hit that button, and if you want to see more crafting projects, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified right away. I've got vintage paper dolls coming up, so we are going to be playing with those. I'm excited about that. So thank you guys for tuning in today, and I better get back to work. So I will see you for our next creative project. Bye for now.